You've heard of the last word, but have you heard of the long word? I'm talking about the Trials of Osiris Stasis Scout Rifle, the Prophet. In all seriousness, there is something here most people are skipping over as they grab their Adepts this weekend, but I'm asking you to take a second look. This is our third aggressive frame scout rifle, and with that, there are three things I want you to know: stats, damage, and utility. There are some huge wins here and some huge disappointments that everyone's caught on to. But my hope is that if you follow me through these perks, I can lead you away from some traps and into something hilariously fun. I swear I'm gonna talk more than just Cascade Point. There is definitely some accuracy and utility to talk about, although a preview of my thoughts. Cascade Point is so good that I think it puts up a fight against Taraxipos for the best weapon to run it on. The thing is, it does require the right setup. I know, people are gonna give me crap, but I really don't like Cascade Point on that many weapons. High impact auto rifles, Taraxipos, and the Prophet. So believe me when I say this thing is powerful and that I am pretty split right now on my long range weapon between the two scouts. Okay, Cascade Point thoughts on hold. The first thing I want you to know about the Prophet is the stats. The Prophet is the best legendary aggressive frame scout rifle in basically every category: range, stability, handling, reload, aim assist, recoil direction, and even airborne effectiveness. It's everything but magazine size, and it only misses out on one bullet there, 14 versus 15 on the long arm. So it's got the juice. It feels surprisingly consistent once you get used to using an aggressive scout, which I admit I'm not a big fan of. I don't like Dead Man's Tale, just not my thing. But for whatever reason, having the Prophet on me for several cards and trying out several different versions, I grew to love having it for long-range engagements. I felt like I could even challenge Prosecutor in medium range through peak shots, and I could definitely challenge anything else. The Prophet just locks on to headshots, and it's one of the things that gets me to keep throwing it back on in larger maps over Taraxipos. It just hands out crits sometimes. Speaking of, you need 2 crit and 1 body for any Resil in PvP. No extra buff needed. You're firing the same RPM as Igneous Hammer, but you can reach out further and have that freedom of missing 1 crit. That comes into play later for some of my perks. But before I get to damage, I want to talk about the trap to watch out for. This is not a hipfire weapon. The perks are going to tell you it is, maybe even another guide or review out there is telling you it is, but it is not. If you go in thinking that, of course you're going to think this weapon is bad. I tried to make it work, y'all. Hipfire grip, offhand strike, text balance stock, all working together, and you still had to be pinpoint accurate with this thing, and that's just not me. I want to highlight here that offhand strike is the biggest trap for primary weapons. There is zero reason you should ever run this. It is a special weapon perk. ADS your primaries and get the real benefit. Just a Lego hot take there. Even with that, I tried, like really tried, Hipfire Grip Cascade Point with text balance stock because I love hip firing with Cascade Point on my Taraxipos, and this sounded like exactly what I'd been looking for. What a disappointment. It is not worth it, even with the extra speed on the body shot damage. I felt like I was just shooting straight through my opponents sometimes. Regardless, there is some good stuff here. There's some great stuff here. Here's the second thing I want you to know about the Prophet: your damage options. And as we jump into these, I once again want to thank everyone for the huge influx of subscribers, likes, and comments. I see all of you. Thank you. And if you're new here, enjoy the ride. Glad I'll have someone fresh to talk Cascade Point with. Okay, damage, Cascade Point, and Kill Clip. Outside of Headstone for utility, I think Cascade Point and Kill Clip are the only 2 options you should be going for in this 4th column. Kill Clip is gonna get you that 2-tap through 8 Resil, but there are quick and easy ways to get it to 10 depending on what you're running. For any class out there, if you run a Reaper mod and had used your class ability within the last 10 seconds, you'll spawn an orb after your kill. You can grab that orb for even just 1 surge mod on your legs, and then you're 2-shotting any resilience level. On a hunter, you've got even easier options. I'm not talking Radiant. I mean, you could do that on Solar, but you've also got Mask of Bacchus, which gives you a 7% buff after dodging on Stasis. It works on Stasis and Arc weapons, and the Prophet is Stasis. This brings you to a 2-tap against any Resil, and it reloads your weapon at the same time, activating Kill Clip in the process. Great synergy. It worked out really well. Then we've got my favorite, Cascade Point. Getting a kill with a different weapon gives you 5 seconds to swap to the Prophet for 2.5 seconds of extreme RPM. You can also proc this with just continuous precision hits, but unless you're using something like Trinity Cool, it'll usually just be kills. If you haven't used it before, this is a very different kind of perk. You want to wait to swap as long as you can within those 5 seconds of Cascade Point ready until you're ready to unleash that 2.5 seconds of chaos. It's a short window, but it's extremely deadly once you master it. It's not quite as fast as Taraxipos with its 0.56 second TTK, but a 0.6 second TTK on the Prophet across the map with just 2 crit and 1 body is kind of sick. If it takes you a while to get used to, you're not alone. This was tough for me to get the hang of. This weapon just feels different than pretty much any other with Cascade, but once I got it figured out, I feel a bit unstoppable with those deep Cascade Point shots. The kind of damage it puts out is really the highlight. Taraxipos is just a stream of bullets, but the Prophet is a pace of hard-hitting shells. You're taking huge chunks of damage off in record time. If you have a teammate even tickle the enemy a bit, you'll run into situations where you end up 2-tapping in 0.3 seconds sometimes because of those 92 damage crits you're spitting out at 200 rounds per minute. This is insane. The fact that I felt comfortable swapping to this instead of utilizing Onslaught on my summoner says all you need to know. What doesn't work, in my opinion, are the other damage perks. Explosive Payload is going to put out slightly less damage due to the way body shots work. Golden Tricorn isn't enough for the 2-tap, and don't even think about Golden Tricorn times 2. Stasis is the worst class to proc Golden Tricorn times 2 on because freezing and meleeing does not work. Only a nearby shattering crystal kill will. Trust me, I'm a huge Golden Tricorn fan, but a big not recommend for that perk on Stasis, in PvP at least. Then Precision Instrument is also not really going to get you anywhere. Even proccing the 7% buff from Bacchus or going Radiant didn't seem to do anything except maybe an extra body shot rather than a crit. Someone let me know in the comments if I'm missing something, but I just don't see it. Let's talk about how to really nail in the damage perks that do work. This is the third thing I want you to know about the Prophet. Utility. For kill clip, Demo, Keep Away, Outlaw, and Rapid Hit are all going to work for it. And it's really going to come down if you want the accuracy from Keep Away or the reload speed from Outlaw and Rapid Hit. Keep in mind, Keep Away comes with plus 30 reload speed too, so you're not giving it all up with that perk. A lot going on there. For Cascade Point, I can tell you 100% Discord is the play. It activates at the same time, is like having Under Pressure at its max value active all the way through your shots, and you get better ADS speed. It is the thing that makes Cascade Point feel amazing on the Prophet. I tried Keep Away with Cascade, I tried it all, but Discord was the key. So if you tried Cascade Point and felt like you didn't like it, I'm going to ask you to check to make sure you had Discord as well. It is the secret sauce here. You are so dangerous once you got these two proc together, and it really is something you're going to have to try out for yourself. I can show you the 0.6 second TTK that doesn't even require all crits, but you gotta go and see what you think. Let's not forget Headstone either. I know we've been talking utility with the damage perks, but there's also utility for utility. Headstone is here in the 4th column and is great paired with Demolitionist, especially on Stasis subclass where you're throwing nades and using Headstone on your weapon, shattering the crystal, and getting your grenade and energy back, along with keeping down reses and all the normal stuff that comes from Headstone. Finally, we've got the origin traits: Alacrity, One Quiet Moment, and Text Balance Stock. The answer is Alacrity. I don't care what you're doing, these other two perks are not worth it. Alacrity at least has a chance of proccing, and when it does, it's going to give you an insane boost to range, stability, reload speed, and aim assist. Absolutely incredible perk. And came in clutch for me so many rounds of Trials of Osiris. Text Balance Stock is not enough to hit fire. I would choose Alacrity over it any day. So those are the 3 things I want you to know. Now here is the thing you probably want to know from me: the God rolls. Except that the PvE God roll for the Prophet doesn't exist. Well, I'm kidding, kind of. You could make Golden Tricorn work on Stasis and PvE, you could make Headstone and Demolitionist work, but ultimately, I just didn't see the point of any of this. Pretty much any other Scout Rifle archetype will put out more damage according to Mossy's outgoing damage spreadsheet, and I just don't see any perks here that justify that low damage, so yeah, if you want Outlaw Kill Clip for whatever reason, do it. If you want the grenade build with Headstone or Golden Tricorn, go for it. I'm just here to present the numbers on PvE and tell you to use something else. But for PvP, I do have a god roll. Stability Masterwork, Small Bore, Accurized Rounds, Discord, and Cascade Point. Throw on a targeting mod or even an adept targeting mod because all the real work is being done by Discord and Cascade Point. It is so incredibly good. That's my god roll. I know people are gonna say that this is much easier to control on mouse and keyboard. I just didn't have that experience on controller. I don't know why, but it felt fine for me with even just Small Bore, no recoil control perks or anything. Some alternative rolls you might be interested in. You can take that same roll for Cascade Point and put Demo Headstone over it. But if you're running Kill Clip, I'd keep Small Bore and swap everything else to Reload. Reload Masterwork, Flared Magwell, and then the third column I'd probably look for Keep Away myself. I just love the help with the accuracy on top of the reload bonus, but can't go wrong with Outlaw or Rapid Hit either, as they'll be a bit faster. So that's the Prophet. I recommend to grab one specifically for Discord Cascade Point. It's better than they are giving it credit for. I did find Kill Clip to be more successful than I thought it'd be. The only problem is the whole scout at base being sluggish, but as a backup for engaging at long distances and destroying people with Cascade Point when I have the opportunity, it's perfect. It feels quite a bit more accurate than my Taraxipos, and that's got me really struggling with which one I want to keep using for my trials games and even my competitive matches. They did it. They actually got me to like an aggressive scout rifle. The Prophet is fantastic, but you gotta like using it the way I do. Let me know if you're gonna try it out. This has been Lego the Flash. Until next time, GG.